So, hey guys, Chausa here, and in this video I want to talk about next month's medal shop, and the lineup this time is really good. So, I wanted to talk about it a bit. Of course, this is hugely box dependent, and even if I used the tier list maker here, it was more to easily order them. But I think gives a decent picture. I wouldn't say any character here is not worth it. If I'm to say someone who I don't think really is worth, unless you have everything else, it's like V2 Mihawk, because like his support is very nice for stats on all the Sora units, even Lupus and such. But I really love chain caps, and V2 Mihawk is so hard to use. Only slashers is rough. Slashers lack a lot of utility. It's very hard to build teams with this guy, and believe me, I try for basically all new content, and it's rough. But yeah, other than that, all the units in the bottom are solid, like Frankie, very cool captain ability. You can team him up with Battle Legends and still get a lot of good use, like it was very good for the CP9 raid a few months back. V1 Ace, decent in Rumble. I don't care much about Rumble, but you see him use sometimes. And he has a very nice support for Whitebird and Marco, where he can lock slots for 2 turns. Super good. The Flamingo, hard to use, but one of the coolest specials. And with Germa coming, you can do a combo of Germa, Brook Captain, and Doffy Sub, and Brook lets you remove normal attacks only. Germa can burst for tons of damage, and then Doffy can use his special. Like, you can do a lot of cool things with that, but other than that, this Doffy doesn't see much use. And yeah, I have Limit Break expanded Lucci myself, so I rate him, but I still don't think he's much valuable. Like, of course, his stat support is very good, but as a unit, unless you Limit Break expand him like me, which I do not recommend, I can do it because I grind TM so much, so I can do some unnecessary expansion sometimes. But yeah, if he's expanded, he's a good unit to have in the box. 5 CD for his special is very good. I'll use him when the opportunity arises. And yeah, now we come to units I think are pretty useful. And in Neko, mostly in Kizunas and stuff, or Doffy 2, they have a very nice swap for Doffy 2. I'm not a big fan of them otherwise. In general, duo units who don't get a matching orb are always harder to use. But yeah, good sub, very poor captain, not a good captain to use at all. Cavendish, I love him as a support, one of my favorite support, so good in so many different situations. And it's actually pretty fun as a sub. You'll definitely see me use him a bit. He's very good on chain cap teams and such. He's a bit like Luffy Law and Shay cap teams, where he just does a lot of damage himself. But yeah. And then we have Lupus, who I will have put them higher up just a week ago, but of course we have Oden now, and they are just outclassed as captains. But you can use them as captains. They have their own unique mechanic of hitting with color affinity and keep orb, so that's cool. But their captain multiplier is just very low now. It's creeping upwards fast, the multiplier for captains. And their swap is really the main reason to get them, because they have such a good swap for so many situations. It's a Luffy and Sora unit, both have amazing support. Like, Luffy supports are very good, and Sora has a lot of good limited support, sadly, like Koshiro and Tashigi, so good. So yeah, definitely good to have. And now we get into the real juicy part. And I guess I can talk about Barto first. Like, he's just there for the support, but his support is just so good. You can put him on, most of the time it will be Robin, but you can put him on Cavendish too. The issue is that, of course, Barto Cavendish is the best Cavendish, so you can't put him on that. But yeah, he just removes 3 turns of paralysis. That's it. And that's super strong. I use him several times a month, I'm sure. I couldn't imagine my box without this Bartolomeo, so I can only say he's worth it. I will not doubt about getting him, unless you lack more of the units around here. And yeah, Nami Robin, very good to have. I wouldn't use them a lot as captain, but you can use them as captain, like if you ran out of spots on an Int or a Dex team and you need someone to be captain, they can be captain. Otherwise, I wouldn't use them as captain, really. But otherwise, of course, the swap can be hard to use, but when you can use it well, it's very cool. But it means you can't use them as other duo units. You usually decide, do I want Dex Nami Robin or Int Nami Robin, and you usually stick with that for the majority of the fight. But other than that, also very good in Kizuna. Any content where you fight, use a Dex or Int team, they can be good to have. So they're definitely good to have in the box. And yeah, V2 Shanks 2, another unit who is a god in Kizuna. Does so much, all orbs, dominant orb. Like if you have 4 Psi units, everyone gets a Psi orb. You get 2.25 attack. I think it was 2.25. It sounds right at least. And you get a nice high chain boost too. So that's just a lot in one unit, and he has a sailor to give all units a matching Psi slot, which is useful on many teams. Like if you do a V3 Katakuri team, for example, this Shanks is very good to have on it. So yeah, all of them definitely worth getting. And now we get to the 4 I rate the highest here, if you lack them. And we can talk a bit about Pudding first. It was hard. I could have put her in top priority, but I feel like there's a difference between these still. Like you can live without Pudding in some way. She's very good to have, very unique. But at the same time, your use of Pudding depends on your skill as a team builder. It can be hard to fit her well, but like if you know what you're doing, and I'm sure you've seen me use Pudding, Subconscious use Pudding, all the other great team builders, like you can do some crazy shit with Pudding. That's just how it is. So yeah, I definitely recommend her too, for sure. And then we have V3 Big Mom, who is also a mainly Kizuna unit, but she is like the Kizuna unit. Like optimally on a Kizuna team, you have either V3 Big Mom, Shanks Crew, or V3 Law. I'd say V3 Law is the best one, but also the hardest one to use, because you also want a chain boost then, which can be hard to fit. And he has some other conditions and such. Big Mom is a bit more straightforward. You just use her, you get a 3.5 times chain lock, and you get up to 1000 base attack boost to all units, and that is a buff that not many units give, so it's just pure extra damage. Which is why she's also preferred to Shanks Crew, but of course Shanks Crew has his own unique qualities, like his swap for matching orb, make me the boss easier, and chain lock for 3 turns, you can use it on stage 2 and bring it over. But yeah, she's very good, particularly for Kizuna. The best, really. And then we have top priority. And I'm sure there are many who will pick up this V1 Rayleigh, and I'll just say it, if you don't have him, you just have to pick him up. He's too good, both as a potential sub, but of course mainly for his support. And he supports Luffy, and if you think about it realistically, many teams will have a Luffy, and it will be very good to have this Rayleigh. But yeah, otherwise as a sub, I used him today on Revo 2. He did a very good job. Remove 7 turn of a lot of stuff. Easier perfects is very nice to have. And then we have the crown jewel, I'd say. It's Soba. And I've seen a lot of strange comments like, I will wait until he gets cheaper and he's not worth 400, and I just say, he's worth 400. Wow. Okay, first I'll make it clear, I do not like Soba as a cap. I just don't think it's very fun at all. Not really for like damage reduction or anything. It's so hard to use Soba as a sub, and then you use him as a cap, and all you think about is, I wish Soba was a sub instead, so I had this Sailor, and I can't get over that. But yeah, as a sub, this Soba is like arguably the best sub in the game, like, whew, at least offensively, like 11 turn cooldown for 1.75 times attack for all units, and full board of matching slots, since he makes TND beneficial himself. Super good. But that's not it. Every time another unit uses a special, he gets -4 CD. Like, the plays you can make with this Soba is insane. He might be one of my favorite units this year in terms of usage and how you can play around with him. I was thinking of making a video tomorrow for the new year about my favorite units of the year to use, and he's definitely one of them. Like, not only is he broken, let's be fair, he's broken, super overpowered, but it's actually fun at the same time, and that's a hard combination. At least I'm one of those elitists who are like, when you see very strong units like Roger, I'm all like, I don't care. Like Vito Snake Man, barely used. Everybody uses them for teams, like I don't want to, but Soba, too good. So yeah, he's definitely worth the 400. If you have 550 medals and you don't have any of Rayleigh and Soba, just pick them up. There's nothing to think about. Yeah, that's my opinion at least. Hope this helps someone, and I'll see you next time.